Hey you guys, it is the second day of September, and so since I haven't done one in a long time, like a really long time, I thought that I would do a August/summer favorites video. Surprisingly, I don't have very many beauty favorites. I worked all summer at our day camp where it was super hot, and I got up every morning and had to be out the door by 6:30, so we hiked and we did all kinds of stuff, so I didn't do very much makeup for summer. One thing that I really have enjoyed, though, I've recently been dabbling with facial sprays or refreshers, and I did get Boots No. 7 Hydrating, you can't even see it because it's clear, Hydrating Mineral Mist or Mineral Water Spray, and I really like this. It was, I don't know how much it cost because I got it as part of a sale with a bunch of other Boots items, but I feel like it was relatively inexpensive, like under $10, which is nice because the others that you can find either online or to make are a little more costly. I do want to experiment with making my own, but I haven't got to that point yet. And that's really the only beauty thing that I've used regularly. They're so nice because when it's hot outside, you can just spray, and it's just a quick refresher, and it kind of helps hydrate your skin so your face doesn't get really dry. So I loved that. And I used it all summer long. Actually, I didn't use that one. I used samples that I had gotten in some of my Birchboxes and the like. So the other things that I like have kind of been more entertainment-y type things. One thing is graphic novels. I have been reading a ton of graphic novels. I finished Rat Queens, which I hadn't intended to get. It has excellent art, though. You can see there's a giant dragon lizard thing. This is the first volume that has the first 6, I think. Yeah. And it's very epic adventure-y type thing. There's a cruise of adventurers, and then there's a plot against them, and they have to figure out what's going wrong. And I really enjoy it because it features 4 women who are of various races and ethnicities. Because it's fantasy, we have pixie kind of things and dwarves, elves, mages. There's questions about religion and about ethical things and duty versus love versus adventure and all kinds of great things that are just really, I enjoyed this a lot. There was a lot of hype, so I wasn't sure I was going to like it. And then, of course, I've been reading since then The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which is by Alan Moore. This one's old. This is the first 2 original volumes in an omnibus edition. And from the library, I checked out My Friend Dahmer, which is a graphic novel talking about Jeffrey Dahmer because I love serial killers, and I'm fascinated with the inner workings of how that goes. So I'm excited to start this one soon. Another thing I've really been using a lot this summer, there have been a lot of triggering things and a lot of things that have caused my anxiety to worsen between travel and just the rise of awareness for mental illnesses and things like that. So my anxiety has been high, and so I've been doing mandalas, and this is just one I have printed off. They're basically circle designs that have really intricate inner designs that you color. And I actually just bought a huge coloring book of them to use and to have, but they're really nice whenever I feel very anxious or up and wired and I have difficulty being calm. It's really nice to just sit and color with those and just kind of refocus. They're used a lot for meditation and during various therapy things. So I've been using them at work too all summer long, and then into the school year I plan to use them as well. So if you guys have any trouble with focus and attention or stress and anxiety, I would totally recommend them. You can find them online for free everywhere, but also Barnes & Noble has several workbooks and coloring books, and if you're particularly arty, you can make your own, which is something I haven't been able to do successfully at this point, but I'm really interested in that process. The other thing is, since school has started back, I have been all about office supplies, and my trusty Moleskines, I use them religiously. This one I only write on the front pages of my notebook, and then I flip it over and write on the back. And this year I've already almost completely used the front half of that Moleskine notebook, which is great. It's so nice though. They bend open very easily and lay flat. They lay completely flat. You can also bend the pages back over with little issue, and you still have a really great a good flat surface to write on. So I love them for that. They're the best notebooks in the world. Plus, like, Ernest Hemingway wrote all of his novels on them, so that has to mean something, right? And then I've been using these pens. These are Muji pens, or something like that. M-U-J-I. And they have a variety of colors. I like to color coordinate, and each of my kids gets a color, and all of my, like, work engagements and school dates and personal events all have different colors in my planner. So, these came in a huge variety, and I got these on eBay, but they sell them through, like, their website, and I'll link that below. They're just really great. They're very fine tip. You can get 0.5, which is what this one is. Boom, 0.5. Or you can go even smaller and get 0.38, which is kind of amazing. I really like fine tip pens because I write a lot, and I write large, and this fine point pen saves me some space. The only other, like, item that I can show you is I go through headphones frequently, mainly because Aaron or the other cousins steal them. And I'm always looking for inexpensive headphones that have these little silicone bits that you can remove because I have really small ear canals and I can't use regular headphones. So I got these iFrog noise canceling headphones. They were like $10, and I bought them before my trip because I knew I was going to be in the airport and I was going to be traveling, and there were a ton of people in our hotel room. If I needed to put them into sleep, I needed something that was noise canceling, and these things are legit. They're so good. I will put them in at home and not even realize my grandmother is talking to me, and I don't listen to things very loudly, and I only use one earbud at home because my grandmother is elderly and I don't like to have both things in so that I can't hear her. But they do a great job. So if you're in the looking for any kind of noise canceling device, these are fantastic. And like I said, they're just like iFrogs is the name brand. Ooh, won't focus. And you can buy them online, but they also sell them at like major retailers like Walmart and Target. So I would recommend. The other things I don't really have pictures for. I haven't watched a lot of new TV. Summer, there's not a lot of new shows going on. But over Labor Day weekend, I started Orange is the New Black. And I watched like almost the whole first season, like the first 10 episodes. And I'm kind of hooked. Like, it's a little bit fascinating to look into and think about like what happens in the prison system. And our friend Katie watches it all the time. And my friend Forrest watched it and was telling me I needed to like see it. And it's so funny to exchange messages with Katie because I'll send her a message and be like, hey, I'm kind of confused. Is this what this is like alluding to? And she'll be like, oh my goodness, yes, who do you like right now? And I'll tell her, and she'll be like, what about this person? And I'll say, oh, I don't know how I feel about that. And she's like, oh, they'll grow on you. She's a fan of Crazy Eyes, and I still am thinking that Crazy Eyes is frightening. So I don't know. If you guys have watched Orange is the New Black, let me know what you think of it. I also am kind of watching House of Cards. I started it and I really like it, but I haven't had time to just sit down and focus. My attention span has not been great recently, and you have to pay attention to House of Cards. There's so much stuff going on, but I hope that as things slow down and kind of calm down with the seasons changing, that I will have more of an attention span for that. I hope. And the other thing is phone calls. Ever since I went on my trip, I talked about in my last video a little bit the sense of nostalgia that kind of comes along with leaving friends that you don't see very frequently. And since then, Forrest has been calling me. She calls me because my work schedule is set and hers is not. She works in retail, so I never know when she's available, and I hate to call her when she's at work and have issues like that come up. So she calls me about 2 or 3 times a week, and we just have these phone conversations about everything and about nothing, and I forget how much those things can, like how enjoyable a phone call can be. I tend to avoid them a lot because whenever someone's on the phone with you, you have to have an answer immediately, and you don't have time to think about what you're going to say or to take a break if the correspondence is getting to be too much, like you can with a text message, and you can be like, oh, like respond 15 or 20 minutes later and it not be a big deal. Phone calls are immediate, and recently I have avoided them just because, like I said, my anxiety levels have been high, and part of what I do when that happens is avoid human contact. So it's really nice that I have been able to go back to those and have those be a thing that I participate in regularly. And it just gives me a chance to connect in a way that I don't get very often. Like, I can't go see Forrest on the weekend because she lives in Chicago and I live in Virginia. So it's nice that some of those friends that I have that live far away, that we have kind of taken away from our vacation together, like the need to communicate more effectively with one another because our friendships are built differently than friendships with people that you see regularly. So, those are the things that I have loved in August and all summer long. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you particularly like, or if you also like the things that I have liked and talked about. The only other thing is I am doing the F Yeah Young Adult Photo a Day challenge on Instagram, so I'm going to link my Instagram below. It's private, but feel free to request to follow me. Where I work in a school, I have to kind of, I work with middle school kids who look for me on social media regularly, so it's private, but I accept all requests as long as they're not a child I go to school with, so, or I work with in the schools. So follow me there if you want to see. A lot of it's bookish stuff, like yesterday was You in a Book, and today's your childhood favorite. So, if you guys want to participate in that, it's not too late to catch up. It's only the second day, and feel free to follow me. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I will be back later in the week or beginning of next week. Bye!